Hey guys, here's the video I promised you. I loved that you guys loved that video of Willa that I shot for her birthday. She turned 2.5. Who else celebrates half birthdays? I mean, I always want to be that mom, so I'm in. But anyway, what happened was I got thinking about how much she has grown. I feel like every single day she's like becoming this bigger human, and I really wanted to take a minute to pause and document what was happening right now. So I got out of bed and I was like, the morning is when we have the craziest time. Oh, and the afternoon, like 5 to 8, like every other parent, I think. Like, that time is freaking crazy. Anyway, I came up with a plan that I was going to head into her room and document our whole process of getting up. So that was my plan. That's my first tip. Come up with a plan and then set out and document it. So what I wanted to capture was what our morning routine looked like. Every morning, I usually come in here, she's either up singing in her crib right there, or she's like, I have to wake her up, which is so random and doesn't happen often. But this morning I did. So that was really fun. So what I love to do is get in here and see how crazy and wild Willa's hair is. So that was the first thing that I wanted to document. Get the wild hair, get all of the things that are in her crib right now. She sleeps with 100 billion stuffed animals. Also, she's still in a crib and she still wants to be in her sleep sack. So those are things that I know are going to change really soon at this little age point that we're at. She's also still sucking on her little passy that I need to get rid of, and I tried this weekend and it went terribly. So she still has that, and that's fine. So we're going to document it. So that was like number one list. Number two, I wanted to get what it looks like to try to actually get her dressed, which is like a whole other like Olympic sport in itself. So I wanted to focus on that part of it. I also wanted to get, if we could, us rocking in the chair. She really loves to do that. Reading stories. We read stories every day. So I really wanted to get that too. There's things in her room that she loves, like her dollhouse. She loves playing with it, and she also loves playing with our kitchen. So just shutting the door and being in the space allowed us to have all of this happen organically. And I just kept my phone with me, and we shot from the hip sometimes. So that's the other thing I want to talk about. How to shoot. So what you want to think about is the lighting in the room. So for me, I chose a time when I knew it was going to be bright. It was a little bit earlier in the day than this, but the light is pretty great in here. There's 3 windows in Willa's room, so I pulled up all the shades and let the natural light shine through. That's how we first got it all to be nice and airy and pretty bright in here without adding any artificial light like overhead lights or flash, because that's just a whole other freaking thing that I don't want to get into, and we want to keep it easy. So using my phone, I just took it out and I put everything landscape. This is how we are in the frame right now. We're landscape. That's just holding your phone like this instead of up and down like you would normally do it. That allows you to have a wide screen when you have a video in the end. So I shot everything this way. Some of the videos, this is a side note, showed up in my camera roll. They actually turned the orientation even though I shot them landscape. You can go in your camera roll, click on the video, hit edit, and you can usually flip it around. I can show you how to do that if that pops up and that's a bigger issue, but that's a whole side note we don't need to go into tech-wise. But just for now, try to do your best to shoot as much as you can landscape. If you get in the habit and it's really hard to switch it, it's okay. You can still shoot a portrait, regular like phone mode. You're just going to have black bars on the side of your frame when you make your final video, and that's fine too. So it just depends on what you want. So for me, I shot everything landscape using the phone. There's a couple tips and tricks with this. You can use the AE lock. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. I'm going to show you a couple little separate slides after this video that'll show you exactly what the AE lock is and how it works. But essentially, you click on the screen, a little box appears, you hold it down until a yellow sign pops up that says AE lock. That's going to lock the lighting so that no matter how you move your phone, the lighting stays adjusted to what the box is set at. So for me, that keeps it so that right here the window is exposed properly, I'm exposed properly, everything's looking great. So you just put what you want to be exposed properly and hold your little finger down on that. So that's a really good trick just to keep the lighting from changing all over the place and getting a little wonky. For us, we're going to be shooting like smaller clips, so you probably aren't going to get to notice that much of a lighting switch. So if this is something that slips your mind, don't freak out and it's fine. The next little thing I have on my tip is getting in the frame, okay? How many times are we like, I wanted more pictures of me, I'm never in the frame, I don't exist, blah, blah, blah. And you feel like you need to rely on somebody to get you in the frame. How about you do it yourself, damn it? Okay, so here's what I've done. Right now, like, I'm talking to a whole line of Willow stuffed animals, and my phone's stuffed inside of them. And that's what's holding it up right now. I'm in the frame, and it's happening. And I'm, like, seriously in my gym clothes. So give up on looking freaking perfect and just be you and be in it. And that's, like, my biggest tips I can ever give. Like, just stop it, okay? So the other thing you can do is start thinking of other unique places you can put the camera. So I've put the camera, I usually just try to get it level and shove it anywhere I can. And like, if you need to put something in front of it to try to stabilize it, try that. Just watch out for the camera where the actual camera hole is, and then you should be good. So that's my big tips for getting in the frame. I'm going to show you a couple little pictures of like where I've actually put the phone, so you can kind of see in the video that I just shot, so that you can see really what I've done. The next thing is when you're shooting your clips, it's really great to shoot a dynamic range of clips so that you have a little bit of a flow to the story that you create later. For me, that's adding a little bit of movement in sway to my videos. So when I'm shooting overhead and looking at Willa, I'll just tilt just a tiny bit holding my phone. It just creates a little bit of movement in life that adds a little bit more dimension to the actual video that you're shooting. You can also try like squatting up and down and panning up and down with it. See, I'm working out right now. It's awesome. I don't even need to do it now. Wow, I'm freaking brilliant, guys. You can shoot video and work out at the same time, and you don't even have to worry. It's awesome. Okay, you can thank me later for this hot pot. Okay, so I'm getting off target. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was B-roll. Do you know what that is? It's not some like rap name I made up for myself, but it is actually this really cool technique you can use to capture the details in the room. So for me, I wanted to capture like what Willa's clothes look like right now, and where we have them stored, and what her dolls look like, and how her crib is, and what random crap I have hanging up on her wall. Like I just throw things on the hooks that we have here since we've moved in. So nothing's really set yet, but that's what it looks like, and I want to document it. So think about these little details of your day that are here in your life right now without touching it, that you know could change and that you want to remember. So take little short video clips of that. 2 to 5 seconds. You don't have to take anything long. And try to add that little movement and more squats. But go slow. And it really helps to like create a little bit of a slow-mo. Bring your elbows in close when you're holding your phone. It'll help stabilize it so you're not shaking so much. That's another tip I have for just keeping everything smooth. The other thing with B-roll that's really helpful is it helps transition to different scenes. So you'll notice in the video that I shot, there's Willa in her crib, there's me and her over here in her chair reading, then she's playing with her dollhouse, and then she's in the kitchen. I have different little clips that help you transition, like the clothes and like when I'm trying to put the clothes on, I have like a little pan down of the clothes in the closet. I have a couple little details of her kitchenette, or like little things of her hands, and just kind of things just to like throw in there to say we're going somewhere else, so it's not so abrupt when you change scenes. So just think about that when you are moving around, just to try to capture something that will like help connect the difference between the new things. The next thing, time lapse. Did you notice that in there? That was kind of a ridiculous little thing I did to try to show like how hard it is to get Willa dressed. And I didn't even get her dressed in the damn clip, but you didn't. I don't know if you noticed that. So what I did is I set the camera up against her humidifier in her room, and I moved my camera over to the time-lapse mode, hit time-lapse, actually first I had it face me, so like I turned the orientation so the camera faces me in the selfie mode, and then I hit time-lapse and ran, and I sat down, and with having the landscape view, you got most of the room in the picture, so it got Willa playing in her dollhouse while I like shook out her clothes and kind of like led you to believe that we were going to get dressed. So the next phase when she is dressed, that's awesome. So the time lapse, the cool part about it is it speeds up a longer period of time into a very short clip. So that was probably like a 10-minute, maybe, no, I don't think I shot that long. Maybe like 2 minutes of a clip, and it really shortened it down. So it just gives a little bit of movement and fun to some actions that you're doing. Try it out. I think you'll have fun with it. Even if something happens where the camera moves, like, because Willa grabs my camera half the time, like, it's still, like, it's such a little blip you don't even notice. So just try it out, mess with it, and see what happens. The next thing is sound, and Cody is, like, perfectly timed for this. I'm not sure if you could hear him, but he's growling because he wants to come in, and I've locked him out, and he's really sad. Sound gets in the way of some of your clips. So if he were barking right now, which he might just do, I would need to like reset everything or run out of the room, and then it kind of destroys the quality of it. So things to think about: get the dog out, lock the door, shut the door, do whatever you need to block that out. If a siren goes by, or if it's like the air conditioning is whooshing, or you're outside and it's windy, just be aware that that sound's going to come into your clip. So if you're trying to focus on something that your kid's saying, that might muffle it up, and you probably won't want to use that. So try to wait till a time and space where it is more quiet, and just you stay quiet too. So if you're talking to your kid and they're saying what you want them to say, pause yourself and like listen and hold it out there, even if it's a little awkward, till you get the full clip on either side, because you can go back and edit and like chop out the sound parts that you want. I think I talked about length of clips, but let's go and just really touch on that really fast. Length of clips. I try to shoot like multiple clips. They're probably average about 30 seconds each. I usually range between 5 and 30 seconds so that you get kind of a solid clip on either side that you can edit. And it's not too long so that you have multiple clips that you can choose from really quickly when you go into your Google videos later, which I'll show you how to do. And it just makes it a lot more simple to edit. You can, though, make a long video. Right now, we're at 11 minutes and 45 seconds. Who knows how many splices I'll do of this video. It might be multiple 10-second clips, or it might be the whole 15-minute thing. So just mess with it, see what you want. But you really can go in and out. On Google Photos, it's a little harder to use the same clip multiple times. So you'd have to end up duplicating this video like 50 different times, which it gets a little more complicated. So sometimes it's really nice to just hit the little smaller clips when you make your videos. Okay, so I think that's really it, dudes. Like, it's really not that much. This is 12 minutes of talking of a lot of information. I am here for you in my DMs. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. We're going to make this happen, and I cannot wait to see your videos, okay? The next video is going to be me showing you a little behind the scenes of how easy it is to use the Google Photos app to make your video. Thanks, guys. Yay!